Jai and all of you, I am Mahima Saxena, Assistant Professor at AKGEC Department. Today this is my second lecture on image processing and I'll explain basically what is histogram, different types of histogram and other details. Now, what is histogram? Basically, if I'll give you an overview, a histogram is an image. From that image, if any part is like I'll pick an pixel value of an image, from that pixel value, I will determine all the attributes, all the related information of that image. This is called an histogram. Now, in digital image processing, the histogram is used for graphical representation of a digital image. A graph is a plot by the number of pixels for each tonal values. Nowadays, image histogram is present in digital camera graphs. Photographers use them to see the distribution of tones captured. In graph, the horizontal axis of the in a particular graph, the horizontal axis of the graph is used to represent tonal variations, whereas the vertical axis is used to represent the number of pixels in that particular pixel. Black and white areas are represented in the left side of the horizontal axis, and median gray is represented in the middle of the axis, and the vertical axis representing the size of the area. Now, what are the applications of histogram? In digital image processing, histogram are used for simple calculation in software. It is used to analyze an image. Properties of an image can be predicted by the detailed study of histogram. The brightness of the image can be adjusted by having the detail of its histogram. The contrast of the image can be adjusted according to the according to the need of that image, according to the need of having details of the x-axis of a histogram. It is used for image equalization. Gray level intensities are expanded along the x-axis to produce a high image contrast. Histograms are used in thresholding as to improve the appearance of the image. If we have input and output histogram of an image, we can determine which type of transformation is applied in the algorithm. Now, we have histogram processing techniques. Now, what are the histogram processing techniques? First is histogram slicing. The second one is histogram stretching. And the third one is histogram equalization. I'll explain what are these techniques. Now, the first one is histogram slicing. What is histogram slicing? Basically, in histogram slicing, the complete histogram shifted towards right side or left side. Like I represent in this image, this is the example of the image. After histogram slicing, if the histogram is shifted towards the left side or towards the right side of the image, it will never represent in the middle. This is called histogram slicing. When a histogram is shifted towards the right or left side, clear changes are seen in the brightness of the image. The brightness of the image is defined by the intensity of light which is emitted by a particular light source. Now, this is called histogram sliding. The next one is histogram stretching. What is histogram stretching? In histogram stretching, contrast of an image is increased. The contrast of an image is defined between the maximum and the minimum value of pixel intensity. If we want to increase the contrast of an image, the histogram or of that image will be fully stretched or covered with the dynamic range of the histogram. Basically, we have that image. If we will increase the contrast of the image, it will look like this, and all after that it will look like this. This is the explanation of histogram stretching. From histogram of an image, we can check the image has low or high contrast. The third one is histogram equalization. Now, what is histogram equalization? We have two histograms, and with the help of these histograms, we are trying to equalize them, like what are the similarities present in them and other things. Now, histogram equalization is used for equalizing all the pixel value of an image. Transformation is done in such a way that uniform flattered histogram is produced. Histogram equalization increase the dynamic range of pixel values and make an equal count of pixels, and each level will produce a flat histogram with high contrast image. While stretching a histogram, the shape of the histogram remain the same, whereas in histogram equalization, the shape of histogram changes and it generates only one image. This is called histogram equalization. Like we have this image, and after that we will contrast that image and stretch that image. This is the input image and this is the output image after applying histogram equalization technique. Now the concept of convolutional runs here. Convolutional is used for many things like calculating derivatives, deduct edges, apply blurs, etc. And all this is done using a convolutional kernel. Now, what is a kernel? Basically, what is a convolutional kernel? A convolutional kernel is a very small matrix, and in this matrix, each cell has a number, also called as anchor point. This kernel is always fixed. I'll explain later. This kernel is always fixed. For a particular image, we provide a kernel, and after multiplying the values, we'll get that answer. The anchor point is used to know the position of the kernel with respect to the image. It starts at the top left corner of the image and moves on each pixel sequentially. Kernel overlaps few pixels at each position on the image. Each pixel which is overlapped is multiplied and then added, and the sum is the set as the values of current position. This is the concept of convolutional. Like basically we have this is a kernel, the center point is known as anchor. Multiplying these values, we will get the output image. Output convolutional kernel. Convolutional is the process in which each element of the image in which each element of the image is added to its local neighbor, and then it is weighted by the kernel. Basically it is related to a mathematical form of convolutional. In convolutional, the matrix does not perform traditional matrix multiplication, but it is denoted by asterisk, definitely. Now, concept of blurring. In digital image processing, blurring is used to make an image smooth in which edges are not observed. Suppose we have an image in which there are 508 into 340. It's like 17,27,020 pixels. If we want to blur this image, then all these pixel values will be changed by using the blurring techniques. And convolutional, as we know that in an image there is a 8 pixel around it, where when these pixels are combined as 8 plus 1 equals to 9, and it is form a 3 by 3 matrix. In our image we have lots of pixels, so there will be lots of pixel matrix of 3 by 3 order. By applying convolutional in that number matrix with a common matrix called the kernel. The kernel is a special matrix. It changes the pixels using the convolutional to make an image blur. A low pass filter is used for blurring, as it allows the low frequency to allow and stop the high frequency. The term frequency means to change the value of the pixel. Now the concept of edge deduction occurs. The concept of edge deduction is used to deduct the location and presence of edges by making changes in the intensity of an image. Different operations are used in image processing to deduct edges. We have different algorithms and we have different concepts to deduct edges, but we use, some are popular and some are not popular, and some are good for like high resolution images and some are good for low resolution images. If we are apply those algorithms that are basically good for low resolution, then it will not give us as that suitable result. Because of that, we have lots of information, lots of algorithms. It can deduct the variation of gray level, but it quickly give response when a noise is deducted. In image processing, edge deduction is a very important task. Edge deduction is the main tool in pattern recognition, image segmentation and scene analysis. It is a type of filter which is applied to extract the edge point in an image. Sudden change in an image occurs when the edge of an image counter across the brightness of the image. In image processing, edges are interrupted as a single class of singularity in a function. The singularity is characterized as discontinuity in which the gradient approaches are infinity. As we know, the image data is in the discrete form, so edges of the image are defined as the local maxima of the gradient. Most edges exist between objects and objects, primitives and primitives, objects and background. The objects which are reflective back are in the discontinuous form. Methods of edge deduction study to change a single pixel of an image in gray area. Now, next one is edge deduction is mostly used for measurement, deduction, and local changes in an image, basically in a gray image. Edges are basic features of an image. In an object, the clear part is the edges and lines. With the help of edges and lines, an object structure is known. That is why extracting the edge is a very important technique in graphic processing and feature extraction. The basic idea behind edge deduction is as follows, like to highlight local edge operator, use edge enhancement operators, and define the edge strength and set the edge point. Now basically we have four types of edge deduction operators, as they are as follows, like Sobel edge deduction operator, Robert cross operator, Laplacian of Gaussian, and Prewitt operator. Now the first one is Sobel edge deduction operator. The Sobel edge deduction operator extracts all the edges of an image without worrying about the direction. The main advantage of the Sobel edge deduction operator is that it provides differencing and smoothing effect. Sobel edge deduction operator is implemented as the sum of directional edges, and the resulting image is a unidirectional outline in the original image. Sobel edge reduction operator consists of 3x3 convolutional kernels. Gx is a simple kernel and Gy is rotated by 90 degrees. These kernels are applied separately to input image because separate measurements can be produced in the orientation, that is Gx and Gy. Concept of edge deduction is as it much faster to compute and approximate magnitude is computed. Next one is Robert cross operator. Robert cross operator is used to perform two-dimensional spatial gradient measurement of an image, which is simple and quick to compute. In Robert cross operator, at each point, pixel value represent the absolute magnitude of the input image at that point. Robert cross operator consists of 2x2 convolutional kernels. Gx is a simple kernel and Gy is rotated by 90 degrees again. Now Laplacian of Gaussian. The Laplacian of Gaussian is a two-dimensional isotopic measure of an image. In an image, Laplacian is the highlighted region in which rapid intensity changes, and it is also used for edge deduction. The Laplacian is applied to an image. The Laplacian is applied to an image which is being smoothed using a Gaussian smoothing filter to reduce the sensitivity of noise. The operator takes a single gray level image as input and produces a single gray level image as output. The last one is Prewitt operator. Prewitt operator is a differentiation operator. Prewitt operator is used for calculating the approximate gradient of the image intensity function. In an image, at each point, the Prewitt operator results in gradient vector or normal vector. In Prewitt operator, an image is convolved in the horizontal and vertical direction with small, separable, and integer value filter. It is inexpensive in terms of computation.